Morgan, lads and lassies, and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're going to be discussing some of the most common problems that happen when doing back rolls, but with a bit of a spice, because instead of me talking through what they might be in all these hypothetical scenarios, instead I'm actually going to use videos submitted by you guys, sent to me to my email, and then basically I'm going to analyze them, give you some tips, and then hopefully in turn you'll go back out and you'll go riding and hopefully land it. So I put this out on my Instagram yesterday, and I didn't specifically say any type of trick, but then a load of people sent a back roll in, so I thought we'll do one on a back roll specifically, then we'll maybe do another one on a tantrum specifically, and then maybe some other tricks as well. So first up is common mistakes that happen when doing a back roll. Okay, so first up is a video sent in by Stephen Hopson, and he says, "Hey Dave, watch all your YouTube videos, they've really helped me. This is my heel side back roll, probably the best I've done after many months of trying it. Went for the double cut, might be the wrong choice, or simply my balls are not big enough." So Stephen, well, first of all, here is Stephen's attempt. So pretty good attempt, however there's definitely a few very obvious things that we'll point out, and I will be truthfully honest, Stephen, it's not the bull, so don't worry about that. So the first thing, and you actually said, and you kind of question yourself on it, the double cut. So breaking up your cut like that completely changes and messes with your line tension. So it's one thing I'd always steer clear of. Now what I will say is you went quite wide, came in a bit, and then went again. Where you went again from that point is actually the best place to start your cut, particularly when you're doing it the way you're doing it. So we want to actually learn this one wake and quite small. Now, the next thing that happens is you actually have quite a good progressive edge, but as you're getting to the takeoff, you'll see that the wrong hand comes off the handle. Your front hand's coming off, which completely throws you both in the wrong direction, but also completely messes with your brain and the feeling of the trick. So my biggest advice is actually to just have your front hand on the handle. And this is gonna feel so foreign and so awful, but just trust me on this. Just have your front hand on the handle and just try it from the get-go. So you start your edge with one hand and everything. It's gonna feel weird, I promise. Give it a go, let me know how you get on, and fingers crossed it helps. Okay, so the next video has been sent in by Shane Kyles, and he says, "Hey David, I'm 46, I love that, and trying to land my first invert, the old back roll. Thanks for your help, would love to see..." Oh, no, I just completely read that. I can't read very well, but Shane's attempt is actually a fantastic attempt. So I'll show you first and then we'll go through it. So what's happening is Shane is starting nice and wide, and whilst that's often a good thing, the back roll is maybe one of the few tricks that a narrow edge will force you to do it correctly. So my tip number one is, Shane, shorten your edge by about 5 feet. So just don't go out so far. Then as you're coming into the wake, it's actually really good until about 2 or 3 feet before the wake, and you'll notice you flatten off. So that's the reason I want you to actually start narrower, is because you will be forced to not be able to flatten off, because you'll need all the energy and all the edge you can to get wake to wake. Then as far as your rotation is concerned, absolutely fantastic. You're coming out of it really well. I just think when you're coming out of it, you're almost looking up across, like almost at like 11 p.m. And instead I'm going to say, as you come out of it, try and look all the way till 9, and that will help get your tits over your toes and then hopefully ride out. Another tip is to maybe take your backhand out right on the landing and try and push the front hand down to your hip. But the main two tips I'll give you is shorten your edge so that you're edging the whole way through the wake, and then see almost like progressing that edge as you're going through the wake. That's actually going to speed up your flip. And then the second thing is, as you land, just look to 9 o'clock and hopefully you should come over your toes a little bit more and ride away. But I'd say you're 10-15 attempts from landing it, maybe even less. So good job. Okay, so next up is Mr. Kevin McNeil, and Kevin says he's been watching the videos for a while and attached are 2 videos of me trying a heel side back roll. I've been working on this trick for about a year now and it seems like I'm stuck. Don't worry, that's one thing I'll tell everyone, no matter what trick you're trying, particularly if it's a first invert, breaking that barrier, it takes a long time. 2 or 3 years is completely normal. But don't let that put you off. Basically you're trying to get some progress to landing it, any tips would help. Kevin has sent in 2 attempts. So the first attempt is really good, however, you'll notice that your takeoff, you're not fully standing tall. But I actually want to put a little bit more emphasis on your other video that you sent me. So this video is really good, you're edging in quite well. Now the first thing you'll notice is maybe coming off your edge an ever so slight bit too early, and that means you're not getting the most out of the wake, and then your backhand's coming off really early. So here's kind of a drill I'm going to teach you, Kevin. So the first thing I'm going to say is there's a video on how to back roll up there on the top right hand corner of the screen, and that's going to help a lot. It's going to make you understand the concept of what I'm teaching. So we're going to take 1 step back to take 2 steps forward, and similarly to the first tip in the first video we analysed where I talked about doing it 1 hand, 1 wake, I want you to try and do that. It's going to feel really weird. So basically you're going to stand behind the boat, you're going to take your backhand off, you're going to cut out 5 feet, like super narrow, come into the wake and really try and flip it so hard and just go 1 wake on it and flip the whole way around. You'll be amazed how close you'll get after 2 or 3 attempts of that. And what that's going to do is it's going to teach you how to really use the wake by standing tall, edging up through the wake and actually getting a bit more of a flick from the get-go. So give that a go. As I said, the video up there will hopefully help you understand how that's done, and fingers crossed it helps a lot. But you're actually really close, and you're a young lad, you're not 46, so I'm sure with a bit of practice you'll have this nailed in no time. And last but not least is Gino Harutunian. Hopefully I'm not butchering the pronunciation, but I also have a hard name to pronounce. But anyway, Gino has said, "Hi David, want to send over this to get your opinion. This is one of my first few inverts, and basically I feel like I'm not extending properly at the wake, which could be why I'm scrunched up during the back roll. Also can't manage to hold the handle. Would appreciate some advice." So Gino, first of all, let's analyze it. So you're coming in from nice and wide, then as you're getting to the wake, you're flattening off a little bit too early. There's a common theme there, a lot of people are flattening off. You really want to hold that edge through. Then on top of that, as you get to the wake, you'll actually notice that you've started to take off before you're even halfway up the wake. And then when you're coming around, you've actually let go of the wrong hand, or probably both hands altogether. It's kind of difficult to see. And then you're actually getting onto your feet, so that is good news. Now, I'm going to sound a little bit like a broken record here, but trust me, I swear I kind of know what I'm talking about. So I'm actually going to advise same tip as the other lads. You're going to go 5 feet from the wake, backhand off, you're going to come into the wake and you're really just going to try and do it 1 wake, really flip hard and see what happens. I feel like you've got a good aerial awareness, so it should help quite a lot. Another thing I really want you to focus on is as you get to the wake, stand tall, because at the moment you're really kind of taking off backwards. Really get nice and tall, and hopefully that will help you understand the flip. Once you're doing that a few times, you may even land it. But once you're kind of getting around to your feet, then it's when you go back, you might want to shorten the rope and then go out a little bit wider, come in with 2 hands, take off and try the full-blown back roll again. But this will teach you a couple of things: the line tension, it will teach you the rotation a little bit better, and most importantly, the takeoff. Hopefully that helps all the lads who sent any in. There was actually no lassies who sent in back rolls, but in the future, if there's any women who'd like to send in tricks, we'll definitely make it work. I'm actually going to leave the email address here to send videos to, and if you have a tantrum or a whirly bird or a toe-side back roll, those are some of the next few videos I'm going to make. But yeah, basically I feel like there's only so much of me going to the same cable park that you'd like to see, and I think this is quite a cool idea to analyze your videos and hopefully help, and then you can watch it and chances are you could be making the same mistake as some of the lads. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to send any videos you like. Hope you all have a fantastic weekend, and get out, get learning, and please, if you land it or if it helps you, let me know. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.